Here we go. We're watching Slayer Halvy's gameplay right here. I'm gonna be pausing it a lot because I went ahead and looked ahead and took notes this time. I can review my notes here. All right, what do we got? He pushed right. I'm just gonna be going over the points that I discovered in my notes here. Left camo. Oh, okay, yeah. So not left, but left, like leave. So at the beginning of the match, especially in matchmaking, you really want to be the one to do everything, because pretty much everything's expected of you since everyone else is a random and may as well just not, be just AFK. Like that guy back there, he's literally AFK. But, yeah, pretty much don't really expect anything of your teammates ever if they don't have, like, mics and, like, an established communication, or, you've played a few games so you can somewhat predict what they're going to do. So right here, I disagree with this push to control just right off the bat, because it's one thing if you saw somebody like looking at camo at least, but nobody on the team went camo, and it's fine. I mean it's not fine, but it is what it is. What it is. You can't really do anything about it at this point. So just judging by this, they're gonna get camo pretty much guaranteed for free. As you can see, go over here. These two guys are going down, uncontested. Maybe this guy starts shooting him a little bit. Nah, he goes attic, so he's not gonna get it. And this guy ain't gonna get it. Anyway, so you go here with. By the way, I want to say your gun skin is dope. Like the horns right there, looks like a ram. It's pretty badass. It kind of reminds me of one of those like guns from Destiny. I don't know if you've played Destiny. But they always had those decals on them, kind of like the Crota's End, if any Destiny fans are in here. Like that pulse rifle specifically looks like that. Anyway, so here we go. We're pushing control. At this point, I would try to have, reticle here or here. Unless you expect somebody to be in it already, which I don't even know if that's possible at the starting strat. So I'd say, reticle placement, and I'm just going based off my notes. Reticle placement, I would kind of work on getting that like more, what's it called? Deliberate. That's the word. So, I do notice right here, you slide once, and then you go for a curb slide. I think you might hit it, but you run into the wall. I'm not sure. It kind of looked like it from that momentum. So I like that you're going for curb slides. That kind of shows that you are, practicing things in the game, improving. That first slide, it was kind of random. I'll say I wouldn't be randomly sliding if I were you, because you might, get into the habit of doing that and then slide into an unfortunate situation. You know what I'm saying? And since you're stuck in a slide animation, you won't be able to get back out of it. Alright, so here you are. You pick up the BR, hear an explosion above you, so this guy's fighting someone above you. They still pretty much have camo at this point, so you're here pushing elevator side, check left, no one's there, and then go right to kind of try to block that left flank where you make the jump up. Check again, no one's there. Alright, and then you jump up, and then you see this guy turned around. Now here, this happened with someone in a previous video. Here's an opportunity for a back smack. So, if I were you, I would be going for a back smack. Now, since A's already captured and he's pretty much guaranteed leaving A, and he's weak, I don't 100% disagree with what you do, which is you shoot. And you break his shields, and teammate can clean up the kill. So that's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Alright. So here we go. You're checking, outside to see if you can't see anyone on the map to find them, target them. That's a good habit. You know what I'm saying? I think you missed the guy that jumped up. But you can't see everyone. I think he grenades. Yep, he grenades. Does it hit? Nah, it blows it behind you. Alright, so here you are, camo, boom, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're like, oh shit. He's shooting you, you're in a gunfight. Panicking, which happens, and then you're like, all right, crouch and back up. Crouch is great since he has the height disadvantage, puts you in cover, and you continue holding the crouch, which is fantastic. And I like the planting of the grenades right here, because then, you know, if he were to be pushing, he would, of course, die to that grenade. Some people you hear say don't double nade, but honestly, in that situation, you made the right call. I think I weigh my opinion on that. All right, and then you re-challenge. I think personally you re-challenged it a little bit early. Like, see, your shields are at kind of half. As you can see on the left, you do have a teammate there with you. Let me see if you could tell that he was with you. So, you know, you killed that guy, and then you look away. So at this point, you're like, I don't know where he's going, and you see him to the left. Okay, so you might have a slight, like, gut feeling that there's a teammate next to you. So that's good, I guess. It's like a half acknowledgement, but, you know, at this point, I can't tell. You might know. So in that case, if you did know, then this was a good push, because, you know, you're helping your teammate. But if you didn't, then I would wait till your shields recharge before challenging. But, you know, it looks like you did. So I'm not really going to say too much on that. Good shots, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, headshot. And then, of course, you know, you see this other guy, and you're like, alright, snap to the left, headshot. And then you get shot by the guy on the left, and you're like, alright, quick thinking, drop, get to cover, get shields recharged, and make sure he can't chase. Right here, I would be continuing that turn to the right, because, you know, as you see here in a second, the guy has a drop on you right here. So you're pretty much, you can't get out of that. Although you do try. And this guy, it looked like he did kind of panic a little bit, but he matched your strafe, and he can't really do much at that point. But yeah, no, definitely I would always check your corners, like 100% of the time, pretty much, unless you're like 1,000% sure that no one's there. Just check your, you know, always check your corners. Like a quick scan if you were to be walking out that doorway, you know what I'm saying? Oh wait, I just jumped to someone else. You know, if you're walking out that doorway, you know, to avoid the guy up top, just kind of go like, whoop. Is there anyone out here? Oh, there is. Okay, I'm gonna back up over here. Maybe plant a grenade or something, and, you know, jump somewhere, do something. You know what I mean? Give you a little bit more wiggle room. But yeah, always check your corners. I gotta play it so that you could respawn, so that I could snap back to you, because theater mode doesn't lock onto people when they're dead for some reason. Dude. Does it despawn your body when you respawn? Let's see, are you alive yet? Okay, it does snap to you when you're dead. Oh. Whatever. Wait, does it despawn? That looks like you, but it's red. So, let's see if that is you. What the? Nope, that's someone else. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Spawn gold pipes. If you notice, we have an X on the screen and, you know, a dead teammate. Here, I'm going to turn off outlines because that isn't really helping with anything. So right here, you know, it's, you know, one teammate dead, another one B. So he's in a fight, the guy B. I think, oh yeah, you're challenging this guy, cross map. My immediate gut reaction, right now, right here, another guy died on the left, see 2 X's right there, is that you're alive in kind of a secure-ish area right here. You know, you have a lot of cover, and there's a guy on your team that's exposed B who's about to die. So in my mind right here, your goal personally would be to either, you know, rush to get a kill, which, you know, you might have been able to do if you shot that guy in control first, but, you know, he had the angle. Or play sneaky, you know what I'm saying? Either try to get around or try to, like, just play your life, stay alive, so that the people that are likely there on the left don't, you know, collapse in on you from the red pipe side. Is there anyone on the left? I guess not. But yeah, anyway, that's what my mind would be thinking, because, you know, unless there's callouts, which in matchmaking there probably wasn't, I would be just focused on, alright, time to play my life. Although I did like, And let me actually rewind this because it's important to know. Where are you? Here we go. Ah, respawn. Go forward. Right here, your reticle just straight up, even though you didn't have first shot, you still were able to just swing and get that hit. That says that you have some pretty precise gut reaction aiming, and that's, you know, that's good to have. It's really good to have. I think I see it multiple times within this playthrough. Um, it's really good to have those for like those clutch moments, but you definitely want to always kind of place your reticle where you're expecting them to be. That's honestly, I think, that's one thing that I would improve on. You know, like this. This is perfect. You know, deliberate aiming, predicting a little bit. You got shots on that guy. Um, Unlike earlier at the start of the match where you're in control, you're looking at the stairs, and when you're walking up these stairs, you're looking kind of over here. Which I guess, I mean, if you were predicting someone there is decent, but honestly, I would always be kind of predicting there at the top area because most of the time, the enemy team would be going for like height advantage. You know what I'm saying? And then if there's someone below, and they have first shot, you can then kind of back up and crouch, and then you get that cover. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have that cover here, so unless you're like back here, you're using this angle or something, or over here, which, you know, you gotta go up the stairs to get over here, then, yeah, you always kind of, I would just be challenging that first. But to be honest, at the same time, since this guy's here on your left, the teammate, where is he? Is he dead already? No, he went there. And you're the only two alive. I would try to be honestly checking like the right side. So either down here, or since that guy left, just at this point immediately, you know, check, you know, to make sure no one's there to catch you on your push to the right, you know, to check your right flank. Because at this point, you know, right's clear, but, you know, as you see in a second, this guy turns, right, and you're here. Your teammate, for some reason, went out with you. I don't know why. And this guy, right, at this point is when you make the decision, or not even at this point yet, but you see what's happening? This guy's getting the flank. Now our teammate that spawned in is fighting him, which, you know, is, it's alright, but, you know, as we said earlier at the beginning of the match, you shouldn't really put a lot of trust in people in matchmaking. Like, it would be different if you called out, like, hey, on respawn, check my flank, you know, to someone who had a mic, but that's likely not what happened. He just kind of spawned it. Or he is actually the one who was alive since he had the shock rifle. He just kind of came through here and just kind of meandered his way, and luckily got the flank check. See if he probably ends up dying. So yeah, just always check your flank in matchmaking 100% of the time. And power-ups and power weapons, it's basically all on you. Not even gonna lie. Just kind of have that mentality, and I think that'll help you with not letting enemy team get behind you. So here we are. You know, you drop. You're like, oh damn, he died. Oh, what the? Sorry, I pressed play and it skipped for some reason. Oh wait, it skipped ahead. Okay, right. So you drop. You're like, I just gotta pause it and play in slow motion again. Screw it. Let me look at my notes actually. Yeah, you leave your right flank open. One of them got behind you. You notice him die, and then you're the last alive at this point, because you know the 2x is on the screen, or that should be on the screen. I don't see him in theater mode. Maybe they're not here in theater mode at this point for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't be. Maybe they just respawned. Yeah, it's weird. Theater mode is broken. Don't trust theater mode. And the game, I guarantee you there's 2x's to your left. On top of that third one right there that just popped up when the guy died. So, you know, you're getting shots on this guy. At this point, you're the last guy alive. So, honestly, the second, I would be kind of trying to pay more attention of, like, if your teammates are alive or dead, to kind of tell you the pace of how you should be playing. Because while you did get those shots on that guy, you see the guy that flanked you on your left, You got his attention, and now it's essentially a 4v1. I don't think there's any other teammates alive. This guy's literally spawning in as we speak. So definitely don't take 4v1 gunfights unless like you have a guaranteed plan to how to handle that, which at this point I don't think that was the case. So you get away. You did. You had cover. You had a plan B, which is good. Always keep an exit. You make a nice crouch jump right here. You're staying alive. And the guy who spawned in died. And then I think he thought that was you. So he turned away and he was like, "Ah, screw that guy. Ah, there's another one." And then he died. He got caught off guard. See what I'm saying? If you can catch people off guard like that, you almost guarantee to have the kill up at the. I mean, at least at like these lobbies and stuff. I don't know about like super high lobbies, but yeah, catching people off guard will secure you a lot. So try to be mindful of that. Like, what's the sneaky play rather than the challenging play? So here we go. You're back on Attic to get map control after getting the kill. But, you know, you see the kill feeder. Our team is just not having a good time. People are just keep getting killed on our team. So you got one alive and one behind you. I don't know why this guy's behind you, but whatever. So at this point in time, I would be kind of conscious that like this entire, like, see how you're looking across on the map? Imagine this was a line. Everything to the left of that line has been unchecked for a long time. You got that kill, and then you're up in here and looking here, meaning your left is exposed. Luckily, you know, they're dead, so no one's here. But if they weren't dead, this is something that you should get into the habit of checking your flanks. You know, even if you just throw a grenade in there or something to, you know, give like a 2-second timer. I mean, let me see. How long has it been? Because maybe I mean, that is a point to make, but I don't know if I've got to that point yet. Because, you know, you just got glass. You see a one shot, and you're like, okay, I got to get the one shot. And then that's good, right? Shooting the one shot, trying to clean them up. I don't know if a grenade would hit him at this point, unless it's perfect. That would have hit him, yeah, actually, I think. Actually. Maybe. Alright, so at this point, he got away. Right? He's around the corner, you can't see him, so you're reloading. Honestly, I'd try to get out of the habit of reloading, but it's a tiny nitpick. And a guy spawns to your left. Alright, so at this point, but he doesn't spawn in red. So it's still technically possible that there's a guy flanking you from the left side. I would just be really conscious of flanks. That's just kind of the common theme that I noticed a few different times throughout this this gameplay that I'm watching. You know, getting shot. You're like, okay, he's one shot. Boom, right here. I disagree with this. You know, as you can see, this guy's dead. There's another guy dead. This guy just spawned in. You don't know where the rest of their team is. I think you saw a guy go in A, and then a guy went here. But unless you're perfectly keeping track of like exactly where they are on the map, you're pushing out into the open right here. It leaves you really exposed to so many different angles. Let's say there was a guy flanking red and was right there, or there was a guy flanking red and he got right there. You know, you're pretty much dead at this point from most angles. You know, considering 2 of your teammates are dead, and if you get shot, you'd have to use that for cover, which leaves you really exposed, and you only have one other guy to help you. You know, it's a very vulnerable position. So try to like get into the habit of retaining height advantage, and especially not chasing kills. Just don't chase kills. Period. Honestly, let the kills come to you. That makes sense. All right, so here you are. No one shoots you. I don't think, at least. Alright, and then you drop here. He gets it. That's the guy. He got his shields back. So you're trading shots, and then you back in the long haul for cover. Alright. And then at this point, again, flank exposed on the left side. You see your teammate, he probably pushed you mid. Maybe. and then you push forward, which is, you got your reticle is good, right? Your reticle is perfect here. Or I don't say perfect, but like the placement, it's on point. The point being the enemy. But um, this right here should be a red flag. I wouldn't have pushed into this room with this many unknown variables. Oh, it's a flank for one, so you got to check it. And two, your line of sight is pretty much gone. So honestly, I would have let that teammate push on his own to get that kill or to die, because like I see you're pushing up to help him, but he shouldn't be putting you in this scenario to have to push up to help him out into the open with your flank exposed like this. So again, I guess just another reiteration: don't trust matchmaking teammates. Period. They're just never going to be helpful. But your shot's on point. Your shot's actually decent. Like, I watched it this game. Most of them hit. Alright, he gets the kill, and then you're like, alright, turn, get shot. See what I'm saying? Like, you turned and got 2 shots off on him while he had the advantage, and then you drop. Your mindset of, like, when you're on the back foot is really good. You have a really clutch back foot. Like, you don't seem to panic when, you make decent calls when you're at a disadvantage. But, that's the problem, is that when you're at a disadvantage, decent calls don't really do too much to help. Because you're pretty much screwed anyway. The guy from over there shot you. He was at B batteries right there. See him? So what you really want to do is try to retain your advantage. I notice you give up your advantage off, like, just by not checking your flank or by pushing off of top positioning. So just try to focus on retaining that and not chasing kills. I would say maybe just slow the pace down so that, because usually this is Halo, they're used to, like, I gotta run quickly. It's like, just try to, at least for now, play the turret, play the tower, and to just kind of observe your teammates a little bit. Because honestly, I think, like, if you were to know what your teammates are doing more often in the map, you would be playing off them, and you would be, like, understanding why they're dying. They're pushing on their own. Okay, that means there's someone over there. That kind of stuff. Try to play it like chess. Alright, so here you spawned in, you're pushing, and you're like, alright, this guy went pit, I'm gonna try to help him pit. And then right here, you're checking B, but you're backing up directly into the flank. Now, your teammate died there. So if that random enemy just happened to decide to go this way, right here you'd be backsmacked, just immediately dead. He luckily went that way. But, just a reiteration, even immediately off of respawn, this is what I kind of try to do, right? Like, off respawn, just quickly check flanks before making any sort of mid play, unless there's, like, 99 points on the oddball and they're one shot and you only, you have the shot on them. Something like that, but it's such a rare scenario. So honestly, always check your own flanks. That's really kind of the main piece of advice I have from just watching your gameplay, is just start checking your own flanks. And, retain advantage. So here's again the same slide to the right, which is interesting. I don't know if you're doing that because it leads to a curb slide. If it does, that's fine, keep doing it, but I don't think that specifically here curb sliding really does much for you. Because let's say you gain speed, you only gain speed from here to here. That's maybe like 5 feet. So crossing 5 feet at like maybe 0.2 seconds faster isn't really going to make a difference in the overall game. So yeah, I would try to get out of the habit of doing this particular curve slide, not gonna lie. Yeah, it just doesn't really do anything for you. And, if you're in the middle of a slide and someone starts shooting you, you're on a continuous motion which you cannot stop until the end of the slide. So you're pretty much at a strategic disadvantage where they can move left and right and they can juke you out, and you can't juke them out. So just always try to have positive control over your movement, your lateral movement. You're gonna slide to pick up the BR. You see a guy ping to the left. I think you noticed that ping, and you're looking left, keeping an eye on like, all right, is there anyone there? While moving back, I like this. You're going up to get the advantage. That's good. You see this guy, you get shots on him. Unfortunately, at this point, you see where while you're getting shots on him, you're walking to the right. There's someone directly right there. So I would just reiterate, just check your flanks. Even in this scenario where it's like, this guy's about to die, our teammate's about to die, it's like, you can't let that hijack your mind into, oh, I have to help him now. You have to let, your own teammates do what they're going to do and protect yourself. And only after you protect yourself and you make sure you're in the clear can you help teammates. Because otherwise it turns into just a cycle of y'all are on respawns and never having 4 people up at the same time because one of them is always dying or something. Looks like, and then that's what happens here because the flank. So basically, I'm just gonna end it here because those are pretty fundamental points right there that I've kind of gotten to. You have a decent like micro gameplay when it comes to being in a gunfight. Like right there, I saw you were just when you did notice that you were getting shot in the back. You did a quick turn, and then you went for a 2-shot beatdown. That's one, and then you start shooting again. But at this point, it was too late. So definitely just start working on checking flanks. That's the main thing. Try to play the perimeter of the map, honestly. I think that would help a lot with like, don't only play perimeter, but, just try to retain advantage, you know what I mean? Don't be dropping into, like, say, B from bat ledge unless you know that you're kind of either in the clear or halfway in the clear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll just honestly, that's like the singular, I want to leave you with that because it's such a fundamental game-changing piece of advice. That's the single piece of advice that I want you to take away from this. Just check your flanks more. And yeah, other than that, it looks like you're good. Asta.